Hi everyone, I hope you're all well, and I'm super excited for this week's update because next week we are going to officially launch the national campaigns across the We Make Change social media. Because over the last couple of weeks, what we've been doing is launching the teams internally on our own Facebook group, and from next week we're going to start to launch these national campaigns across all the different places that we can, and this is going to be your opportunity to really start growing the movement in your countries now that you've really started to get to know each other and your teammates. So there are a few key things and ways in which you can get involved to enable us to do this together. So the first thing we're going to do is that each day next week across the We Make Change social media, we're going to launch these national campaigns. So we're going to have 2 campaigns launched per day. So we'll have one country that will be launched at 9 a.m. UK time, and we'll have another country launched at 3 p.m. UK time. And what that will mean that we'll do is every person within that national team should then share those posts across their social media. And if we can coordinate that really well, we can get a huge amount of reach. And the second thing we're going to do is that we're going to create WhatsApp messages that you can forward on to people within your community, within your networks, who want to make change happen in your country and across the world, so you can share this opportunity with them. The idea being that if we can get these messages forwarded on to enough people, then we can really start to build this movement in such a huge way. And this is a really simple way for everyone to get involved and start supporting the campaign. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Now, the second thing is, now that you are in your teams, you're going to have 2 weeks to start developing your initial ideas about how you're going to grow the campaign in your country. And this is going to be where you can start to get introduced to each other as teammates if you aren't already, and start to generate these ideas by posting in your WhatsApp groups, having calls, getting to know each other a bit more, and start deciding what your plans might be for the future. Because the idea is that this is really your campaign. We want you to lead it, and you know how you can do that better than we do within your particular countries, because we understand that the countries are so different from one another. So we want you to take a really strong leadership role in that. And so we're going to give you 2 weeks to start to come up with those initial ideas and then propose them to us. And finally, we're going to be working on a big video campaign internally, sort of within the group as well. We're still deciding exactly what the details are going to be, what kind of videos we're going to ask people to post and what format they're going to take. But that's one of the things that you're also all going to be able to get involved with. Because now that we've got so many people involved in this campaign, it'd be amazing to get videos from everyone describing the change they want to make and how they're doing it. So again, that's something else we're just going to be working on as well. So the 3 things are, we're starting off with the social media campaign across Facebook particularly, and across WhatsApp. The second thing is you're going to start generating your own ideas as teams as to how you're going to grow the movement in your country over the next 2 weeks. And the third thing is we're going to be working on this big video initiative that we're going to start to reveal more details of as it comes further along the lines of development. So those are the 3 key things that I want to get across. And what you're going to find in this post are a bunches of links to the different WhatsApp groups and also the different types of campaign content that you can use in terms of graphics for your countries as well. But the key thing for you to know is that we're going to be here to support you as much as we can. And one of the things I also wanted to say is that I know there are lots of people who are disappointed they haven't got national teams right now. But you can also start to build the movement in your countries by getting enough people to sign up so that we can create a national team in your country. Because we just want to make sure we've got enough people within these national teams so we can really, really get them going. Now, my final thing, so what I'm going to do in these updates is give you a bit of an overview about the tasks to be done and everything like that. But I'm also going to give you a bit of an overview of sort of We Make Change, the overall campaign, because I've had a few questions about that. So quite a few people have been asking me, so where did this all kind of start from? We Make Change sort of in its entirety. So I'll give you my kind of story in a very short form. So one of the things was, after graduating from university, I worked worked within the NGO sector here in the UK, and then set up my own consultancy business, working with NGOs all over the world, actually trying to work with them as to see how they could deliver the greatest social impact by harnessing the power of technology, but with limited resources. And so that meant that I got to travel across the world, see how change gets made in so many different contexts. But one of the things that I saw was that all of those organizations require people with skills to make a difference, but they often don't have the funding needed to be able to get them. And the second element of it was that I kept meeting people just like yourselves who wanted to use their skills for good, but didn't know how they could. And so that's where the idea of We Make Change was born. It's when people like us come together to share our skills that we can truly all support the causes that we care about and make the change we want to see. And so that's just the short journey from And so from when We Make Change started, just over 2 years ago, from this very flat in East London to now with people like yourself supporting this project and all kinds of other initiatives all over the world. So the inspiring thing to me is whenever we look at all the problems the world faces and everything that we see across the world, there are people like you who are out there who want to make a difference. And now you've got the opportunity to do that. So again, super excited for next week. There'll be more details and links in this post on the Facebook group. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments. But I really can't wait to see what you can do over the next week, because now it is time for us to make change now. See you next week.